Hey, how's it going? So I have tried to do this. This will be my seventh, no, eighth attempt to upload a video about this. Oh, charming. Okay, I can't even worry about that because I can't do anything about it. Okay, I watched the Q Into the Storm video, but I was looking for something other than what it was offering. So first I'll deal with the video itself. It was well made. It was interesting. It was, even though I couldn't watch every episode in one sitting, it's not because of the filmmaking or the filmmakers' work on the show. I don't know. I could only take those people in small doses. Um, and I just want to say there, Brennan and Ron Watkins, and probably his dad too, but also Rydell, are all intelligent people. Um, that doesn't make you infallible. It doesn't make you immune to believing delusional kind of things. Um, it doesn't make you always right. So, um, that being said, I don't think that any of those people are Q, even though the filmmaker seems to think it's Ron Watkins. I don't. The gaslighting that him and his dad do, like making outrageous statements or making regular. Sorry, my cat's trying to get in. Making just a regular statement, um, but changing it the next time you talk to them, or denying that they said it, or saying they didn't remember it. Just like, I just don't think the people that had the wherewithal to create the whole op, basically psyop, because that's what I think it is. Uh, I have more going on than those people displayed, and I also don't think that Q is one person. I think it's a number of people or entities. See, I think that there's a military element, obviously, definitely. There's an evangelical Christian element. There is um, very likely the intervention of another country. And I'm thinking of a few. It could be one that I just think it is, right? But I'm not going to say which, because I will let the viewer sort of review their own information and make that decision themselves. Um, and also because I've had so many problems loading this, I'm not sure why it's not getting loaded. If it's been too long, or if it's because I'm talking about Q or what, but it's not what they think. I'm not like a Q tuber at all. I just see there's okay, let me finish talking about the video. As far as who Q is, there's someone in the video that I think may actually indeed have a part of it, and that would be someone whose name I heard only really peripherally and not very much, very little information. It was the General Valili, who is interviewed very briefly. And the reason why I think that he's credibly more to be involved as a Q element person, person who's part of that one personality, is because he's a general, so he's been in the military a while. He, because of that, I assume he's had to learn how to be security conscious, so he's not a blabbermouth. Those other guys are. um, and the main reason why I think he's involved, because he straight up said it's an op, and it's funny because he doesn't say who the op is on. I think it's them, the Q people, because you know everything they believe in keeps turning into sand, just running through their fingers. Like, Trump is a fraud. They didn't believe everyone telling them forever he's a fraud. Maybe now that they know he's been siphoning money off of so many of them, they'll sort of realize it. But I'm wondering now if they see that he's just like a fat, whiny old man with like a victim complex and very insecure. And, you know, he thinks it's important if you're rich, so he makes sure everyone thinks he is, but I don't think he's as rich as he's saying. And I think he's leveraged, you know, to the max financially. But, you know, he's not known for being entirely truthful, which is also, I would never get behind someone that just lies all the time. But, you know, that's just me. Anyway, um, what I was looking for in the documentary, the reason why I watched it, because I was hoping that I could get some insight as to the people that they were referring to as the digital army. I knew three different groups of Q people between the period of 2015 through 2016, and then from 2016 to 2017, almost the end, I was sort of going back and forth between two different groups there. And one group had sort of two facets on their site. And the part that I liked was the spiritual part, where they talked about, like, you know, channelings from, you know, like Jesus or saints or angels or um every time I do this, like, words just flee my brain. Ascended masters. Um and that was informative to me. And but this is the second group of Q. I'm not done talking about the first group, which is really the one I care about, because when I met them, it was the oddest thing. I'm on Twitter and I'm just sort of like venting my unhappiness with the state of the Democratic Party. And just, I have, even before then, I had become disenchanted with them. And I'm basically not a Democrat, but I'm registered as one. And because I just haven't gone and sat in the DMZ, DMV, and registered as something else, I just vote however I want to vote. But, you know, usually it's for whoever the Democrat is, because we only have two parties and I don't like the Republicans. So I'm, you know, talking about all of this. And it was a time when it was kind of big in the Q community. And I guess it sort of leaked out eventually into the MSM. But they were really hot and bothered about people who walked away from the Democrats, and they just assumed, I guess, that I was going to walk over to the Republicans like others of them have. That is not the case for me. I never, like, registered as a Republican, never wanted to be a Republican. Just, it's not my thing. But actually, at this point, even though Joe Biden's been in almost 100 days and he's doing a really good job, he's doing what he's supposed to be doing, you know? So I'm not like all wow wow like everybody else about it. But he's not Trump, so that's good. I'm glad about that. And also, he's not Trump, and he is doing what he's supposed to do. And so things that need to get done are getting done, and that's good. Sorry if I can't get excited about the guy, but I'm just not excited by the whole process, really. But things are not going to be the way I want them to be till after I'm dead, probably. Oh well. Moving on. So, yeah, I thought the documentary would be about that more, or at least in part. It wasn't. I want to know how those people are doing. Like, even the ones that were like hateful and violent, and are probably people that would have gone to the Capitol to do what happened there. Um, the third group, I really have, except for the guy who ran the group, whose page it was on Facebook, I pretty much don't have any use for the rest of them, because they were just, you know, as the days went on, they just became more and more nasty and hateful. And the day that I left, which I would not have been welcomed back, I did go back and I wasn't welcomed back. So this one day, it was run by this guy, and I started watching him because he's a psychic and a healer, and he was also talking about the financial reset, which is something that I have not been able to determine is real or not, because stuff happens with it and then it disappears and goes away, just like all Q stuff. Like they talk, 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 and then like nothing comes to fruition. So, but this thing has the potential to be real. So, if you want to know what I'm talking about, look up the Financial Reset or Great Awakening. Either of those should get you to things that'll get you there. Um, but he had people from all over on there, and he really had like a lot of women, like way more women than men. And he was married with children, and if I knew that, these other women had to know. But they would just get on there and hit on him hard. Like, I didn't understand. Like, they knew he had a wife. Did they think his wife like didn't live in the house where the computer was? Did they think she couldn't just like walk up behind him and see? I don't know. Like, I don't. I just think it's weird to like, even though they were in two different continents, it's just not cool. But anyway, so he had people. He's in another country from where I am, USA, and then he had people from all over the world on there. And there was one lady I'd become a little friendly with that was from Israel. But I sign on there one day, and she's going off on Michelle Obama and how she's a transsexual. And there's a picture that's been around for a long time, and there's like wind, or she's moving, so some kind of action is happening with her clothing. And they swear that she's a transsexual, and her dick came untucked. And also that Obama is gay, and it's just horrible, and like they should be executed and be in Guantanamo. Like they love to send people to Guantanamo. And I said, you know, I don't think that's true, because she's not wasted all the time, and any homo worth their salt, if they're going to be in drag, they're going to have their tuck correct. And that's pissed everybody off, and I don't know why. It's true, it's not illegal here, and I voted for him, but then I became immediately unhappy with him. Like, it's really sad. I think it was only like 4 or 5 months, and I was like, this dude is no better, or no better than the other ones. And that's why I'm not a fan of politics. Anyway, I, you know, I don't care about those people. I mean, I do care if they're healthy and alive, and that's it though. Like, they're so like nasty and just anti so much that I am for. And nothing crazy, but like the whole like ugliness about the Obamas. Fine if you don't like them, fine if you don't like gay people, whatever, but you know, don't get mad at me because you hate it and it's not illegal here. Woo. But who I really care about is the first group of Qs that I like. I had like both good times and bad times with them. And well, not bad, but just it went from good to not great to over. So it was short and it was like bittersweet, whatever. But they really did, in a way, help me at a time when I was like, I didn't even really know I needed help. I was having like some Kundalini awakening stuff happening, and they were like able to tell me about stuff that I didn't know about myself, things that I was doing that I didn't know I could do, I didn't know I was doing. And it just was like really helpful at a time, and they provided a bridge to places I wanted to be, I guess you could say. But, I made it clear I'm not a Trumper, I'm not a Republican. I didn't harp on it because I actually liked those people. I mean, we it was just like any other group of people you meet on social that you get along with, and you find things that you have in common, and you talk like music, movies, comic books, TV books, like whatever it is, just normal stuff. Regular people. They had jobs, they had kids, they had bills. They weren't like, I don't know, monsters or whatever, like conspiracy theories are supposed to be so scary about. I understand how a lot of people believing something that everyone else don't see the reality of the people that are suffering under the auspices of the op, you could say. But you don't have to like denigrate them for that. Like, I think it's obviously it's a bad idea to make those people who are armed all the time for one thing, but obviously, you know, that they decided to follow that particular path, they, I feel, have been heard and are seeking something to fill a hole. And the way that they're doing it to me is not appropriate, but you know, everybody doesn't love what I do. That's the only way I could look at it. You know, like everybody's got their stuff, they have their things. So, you know, we live with each other. It's not a big, horrible deal. And so, after now this all is over, and I hope they see that Trump was just using them, like, for sucking off them like a psychic vampire, and also like frauding them with the money. Like, there's a whole sort of entrepreneurial element around this, and some of it is like they have good stuff that they're doing and making for people, and others are just there to make money off people, and that's sad. But I hope they see it and stop giving those people their money. They don't care about you. They will, you know, tell you what you want to hear, but they think you're nuts too, most of them. Like the ones that are not part of the conspiracy, or even, I'm just calling it a conspiracy because that's what everyone else has called it for so long, and it's a tidy little word. But even like, there's people that don't believe it and just go on with it anyway because they can get likes and views and donations and payments and so on and so forth. And whatever, more power to you, you know. But I don't think that it's a good idea to like talk so badly about them, you know, because really, if they are being deluded, that's how you treat them, and then they're almost like hurt, scared animals cornered. You don't want to be poking them and doing what we've been doing. It doesn't help the situation. Like, if you think they're so bad, maybe try to be better. Try not to be like them or worse. I guess that's it. Except to say that I guess that's it. I just really want to know, like, how are those people feeling? How are they doing? Do they realize they've been conned? Are they dealing with that reality? Or are they okay just dealing with the pandemic reality? Because I cannot contact any of them anymore. They're blocked, and I don't go to sites that they're on if they're still on them. I just haven't pursued looking for them because that there was definitely a cultish element to the first group, which is the one I mainly care about, that I would like to contact again, just to find out how some of them are doing. Um, I can't. They could find me if they wanted to because they're smart with computers and they know how to do that. And I suppose I could figure it out, but I'm not going to do that. If I'm meant to talk to any of them again, then that will happen. And if not, I don't know. I just won't know. All I can say is I hope they're okay, you know? Thank you and good night. Uh-oh. I don't know how to turn this off. Oh, there it is. Thank you and good night.